Welcome to Rocinio Law. Here's your host, Albert Rocinio.
Auto insurance. We do a lot of personal injury work, and we deal with auto insurance all the time. And we think it's very important that we address this topic to you. First off, I will tell you that when you're selecting your auto insurance, I know a lot of people want to save money and they're going to, quote unquote, cheap it out. Be careful about that. Because oftentimes the only person that you're cheaping out on is yourself. Most states, including New Jersey, will not let you insure yourself for more than you insure the public. So if you decide, like in New Jersey, well, I'm just going to take a minimum policy of $15,000 per person, $30,000 per accident. That's the maximum you can insure yourself and the passengers in your car. You've just stated to yourself and the world, I'm worth $15,000. Scary, right? You can't have more underinsurance than you have in liability insurance, and liability insurance is what you have for the general public. So to insure yourself and the people in your car for the most, you've got to carry the most liability insurance that you can reasonably carry. The more, the better. Okay? That's the first thing I would tell you. And by the way, be careful and be specific. It's not malpractice for your insurance carrier to sell you a $100,000 liability policy and give you $15,000 underinsured, insuring you for less than the public, which is something you never want to do. And why would they do that, you ask, Al? Al, why would they do that? Well, this answer is very simple. The liability portion of your insurance policy is the most expensive part of your policy if you look at it and you break it down. Maybe that $100,000 costs you $500. The underinsurance portion maybe costs you $30. So if you increase that to the $100,000 limit, maybe it costs $50. So they could take $500 from you to insure the public, take $15 from you or to insure you for $15,000, or take maybe another $15 from you and for $30, but give you $85,000 more insurance for yourself or $100,000. You want to know why they wouldn't do it? That's why. Because for them financially, it doesn't make sense. That means for you, it does. And I'm making this point because I see it all the time. Insure yourself for the maximum you can, and that means insuring the public. Also, too, if you own assets, you have a house, whatever. Your auto insurance policy helps protect you against being sued and or having a problem with potentially losing your property. That's always a big concern. And if you have a house, and I'll dovetail a little bit, you want to have what's called an umbrella policy. You have homeowners insurance, get an umbrella policy. It will require a certain amount minimum, usually at least $100,000 of liability coverage, but that for a few $100 may give you like $1 million worth of liability coverage. So if you really hurt somebody and injure somebody, your auto policy throws in $100,000, and your umbrella policy could throw in another $1 million, settling the case and getting you out without you losing your home. Very important. Keep that in mind. Another important thing that we have here in New Jersey, we have the tort threshold. It goes by some various names in your insurance policy when they're asking you. Basically, what it is it's your right to select not to be allowed to sue for certain types of injuries that you may get in an auto accident. And make no mistake, they always, if you have the tort threshold, bring the tort threshold up as a defense. Also, too, even if your injuries are the type where maybe it would exceed the tort threshold, it will still devalue your case. You might have had a case that was worth $25,000. They're going to only offer you $5,000 because of the tort threshold election that you made and the chance that you will not get past summary judgment. So what is the tort threshold? The tort threshold is, and again, this is something the insurance companies wanted. So remember, in my opinion, if they want it, it's good for them, which means it's not good for you. And it was something that they wanted, and basically what it is they had a law passed that said that they could take away your rights to sue on your behalf for injuries that you receive in an accident for a reduction in your auto policy. Now, mind you, it's not your full auto policy. it's only a reduction in part of your policy. Okay, so the savings are never as great as what they make it out. And to show you the fact that they want you to have this because it's to their benefit, not to yours. Okay, what they do is if you don't make the election, you forget to check the box, they make the election for you. And in doing that, they elect that you'll take the tort threshold. So again, if you don't think that it's in their best interest and not yours, you're kidding yourself, because they will always select in their best interest. So make sure that you carry as much liability as you can. Make sure that you carry as much under and uninsured as you can, which usually cannot exceed your liability policy. Make sure that you do not accept the tort threshold and limit your rights to sue. Okay? You have collision insurance, which I'm sure most of you understand. You can minimize your amount of the payment on the collision portion by upping your deductible. Instead of taking a $500 deductible, take $1,000, because there's lots of stuff that is going to happen that's going to be $500-$600 that you'll pay out of pocket. You won't report to the insurance company because you don't necessarily have to. Instead of having a $500 deductible, and you're going to turn to the insurance company to what? Pay another $100 or $200, and now you have a reported claim, and your insurance rates are going to go up. You don't need that. So if you're going to take collision, take a $1,000 deductible at minimum, and save some money, because also with a $1,000 deductible, it's a little cheaper. And if you have minor dings and dents, just pay for those out of pocket. If you have a car that's not worth very much money, then you might not want collision at all. You'll have to decide that. It's a kind of a business decision. The other part of your insurance policy is called comprehensive insurance. Comprehensive insurance covers a lot of other things. An agent who was a friend of mine told me many, many years ago, always carry comprehensive insurance on your car. So that's the advice I give to people. When I had a car that went underwater, when the river came up and swallowed two of my cars, comprehensive covered it. When I had a car that was broken into in New York City, and I had a briefcase stolen and money stolen, and there was some other stuff stolen, comprehensive covered that. So keep the comprehensive. But again, if you want to limit that a little bit and you want to save a little money, you'll take at least a $500 deductible, or even $1,000, but at least maybe $500. And anything that's under that, you'll just write off. But if for some reason, you happen to have something valuable in the car and it gets stolen, or the car itself gets damaged, otherwise you can turn to your comprehensive. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is in New Jersey, it's called PIP insurance. I know it's called that in other places. It's personal injury protection. It's basically your embedded health insurance in the auto policy. We have what's called no fault in New Jersey. All that means is it doesn't make a difference whose fault the accident is. Everybody's entitled to medical treatment, and everybody's own insurance carrier pays for their own medical treatment. This prevents the insurance carrier, let's say the other person's insurance carrier, from stonewalling you from getting your medical treatment that you need. Your insurance company is supposed to pay. There are options, again, for your PIP coverage. At least take what we would call the basic minimum PIP coverage of $250,000. It's really not all that expensive. I have people that come in and they've had a traumatic car accident. They've even had to go back for surgery, and they have $15,000 or only $50,000 of PIP coverage, and they quickly run out of the PIP coverage. And so either A, they're not going to get the medical treatment at all, or they have to come out of pocket, which many can't afford, or they're going to end up having to turn to their health carrier. And if you do that, your health carrier is going to necessarily want to get money back in the event that you have a lawsuit against a third party. Let's say somebody hit you from behind, so you're going to sue them for money, but you only had $15,000 in PIP coverage, so your insurance carrier paid $15,000 for your medical, but you had $100,000 in medical treatment. So your health carrier paid out $85,000. When you go and you want to settle the case with the other party, you're going to have to negotiate with your health carrier to repay them that $85,000. That can make settlement impossible or a lot harder, especially if, say, the case is worth $50,000, which can happen. So carry enough PIP coverage for yourself and the people in your car to make sure that you get the medical treatment that you need. And also remember this, and I didn't detail it, but the payments made by your auto insurer, certainly in New Jersey, probably many other places, is not recoverable. It's not lienable. What that means is in that scenario that I gave you, if you had $100,000 worth of medical expenses and your PIP carrier, your auto policy, paid the $100,000 and you want to settle your case, you can go ahead and settle your case. You don't owe any of that medical back to your auto carrier. That's a good thing. So carry enough PIP insurance. I hope this helps you all out. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. Again, I do not create any type of attorney-client relationship with anybody over the internet through these videos, but I'd love to hear from you, your comments, your concerns, your questions. If we can address anything for you and help you out, you will. I'm specifically a New Jersey attorney, but again, many things I say can be generic from one state to the next. I hope that you like this video. I ask you to please like the video, and I ask you to share the video with your friends. Let everybody know that we're here, and if you would, please subscribe to our channel. Everybody have a great day, and I hope this helps.
Thank you for watching Resinio Law. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.